first, how does an English professor become interested in local politics?
I've always been interested in politics, going back since I was a kid. But when I got to Vermont in 1993, I really just got into the deepest grassroots level of politics. So I began working with candidates who were running for the House and the Senate. And I really began, because Vermont was new to me at that point, I began trying to learn the place through that kind of grassroots organizing. At the same time, I was writing a novel about Burlington called The Dream of the White Village. And those two things sort of came together for me. So if you ever read that book, not that you would, but if you ever read it, it's kind of about the dark, nightmarish side of local politics. And all that sort of fused together for me in a way of looking at this place that I loved immediately and that has since become my home, and I would never leave it. So to me, being involved in politics here and teaching, including lots of Vermont students, those things all dovetail completely seamlessly. It's just how I've always lived here.
What prompted you to move here?
I got a job. So
here at the university?
Yep. So in 1993, I applied 35 different schools around the country and had my fingers crossed for here. And my mom got married here, and this was always our vacation spot because I was from upstate New York, just outside the Adirondacks. So Vermont was always the getaway. And so when a job came up here, I was really excited about it, but tried not to be, counting my chickens, and finally came through. So yeah, that's how I wound up here, and like I say, never go anywhere else.
Now, you're a pretty renowned, pretty well-read political commentator, at least locally. Was it always your intention to get involved with your own campaign, or was that something that...
I don't know if I'd say it's an intention. I mean, I think it's all part of one piece. I think people take the word activist and they think about it, and images come to mind of people, marching in the streets and burning effigies, and really angry people who are out of touch with mainstream, normal life in Vermont. And I just don't see it that way at all. I think activists are people who get involved on their school board. They're the people who, make the city council run. They're the people who, when there's a pothole in their part of the county, they pick up the phone and they get something done about it. And that makes them active, and if they do it over a period of time, I think they merit the title activist. So in that sense, I've been an activist for a long time. On certain issues, I got more active as time went on. So when George Bush became president, that was a huge watershed moment for me. And I started a political blog because I began to feel as though I needed some outlet every single day. And so I named it the Vermont Daily Briefing on purpose, because I wanted it to be a daily counterpoint to what was coming out of Washington. And that kind of, activation that lots of people experienced in the years between 2000 and 2004, I think, that was the basis of it. But then once I put that political blog up, a kind of amazing thing happened, which is it immediately selected for me, the technology selected for me a kind of readership and activist base around the state, but mostly in Chittenden County. And those people all had issues that they were concerned about, some issues the same as mine, and others that I'd never really thought much about. So one of my biggest concerns right now is Vermont Yankee, which I'm not sure how much you know about it, or your readers, but Vermont Yankee is Vermont's nuclear plant down in Vernon, Vermont. And it's an old plant. It's being run at speeds it wasn't really designed to be run at. And it's coming at the end of its life. At the same time, the company that runs the plant, Entergy, is looking clearly in 2 or 3 ways to evade its responsibility for cleanup of that site. So the more I began hearing from people around the state, especially in the South, but also in Chittenden County, the more I began hearing about that issue, the more concerned I got about it. And so in that way, the readership of the political blog sort of moved those concerns up through the networks
And that's,
to me.